Welcome to Frederick at its best. I'm Frederick County Executive Jan Gardner, and we're joined here today by a fairly large and wonderful group of people for some very special proclamations related to child welfare, Child Abuse Prevention Month, and the Month of the Young Child. Child abuse and neglect is a national, state, and local issue that affects all of us. The consequences of child abuse and neglect ripple throughout the life of that child, negatively impacting a child's chance to succeed in school, in work, and in relationships. Children who experience trauma like emotional, physical, sexual abuse, and neglect are at a much higher risk for serious mental and physical illness. Persistent stress alters the way a child's brain develops, impacting their learning, their relationships, and their choices, ultimately leading to fewer opportunities and a higher cost of intervention. In contrast, safe, stable, nurturing environments support school readiness, positive relationships, and community engagement. The good news is that research clearly shows that a community can work together to protect its children and develop environments where children are safe, families are strong, and businesses thrive. We raise awareness of these issues in April because April is National Child Abuse Prevention Month. The official color for the month is blue, and its symbol is the pinwheel. Each April, pinwheel gardens pop up throughout the county, representing the promise of a happy childhood and the safe and nurturing relationships necessary for children to thrive. Thanks to the Child Advocacy Center, you'll see the blue pinwheels outside of Winchester Hall and City Hall, as well as in other locations around the community. In Frederick County, we are thankful for the work of many partners in the campaign to prevent child abuse and maltreatment. And of course, many of them are standing here with me today. The Child Advocacy Center is a program of the Citizen Services Division of Frederick County government. And I really couldn't imagine what we would do without the Child Advocacy Center. But I do remember when it was first formed and when we first debated the need for the Child Advocacy Center. The center works with law enforcement, the state's attorney's office, the Frederick County Department of Social Services, and Frederick Memorial Hospital to address these concerns. Services include advocacy, counseling, medical exams, and child interviews conducted in a family-friendly facility by a social worker specially trained in forensic interviewing. To further raise awareness of Child Abuse Prevention Month, following the ceremony, we will walk to the Healing Garden at Bonita Mass Park. Led by the CAC's facilities dog, Hodge, walkers will plant pinwheels in the Healing Garden and pause to remember the children who died from abuse. Then, on Wear Blue Friday, Friday the 6th of April, the Friends of the Child Advocacy Center and the CAC will host a Remembrance Gathering ceremony at 11 a.m. in the Healing Garden, and all are welcome. The Friends of the CAC is a 501c3 organization working to help the Child Advocacy Center in their efforts to raise awareness of child maltreatment and to work with young victims and their non-offending family members. I certainly commend all the members for their dedication and hard work. Also, on Saturday, April 14th, local child-serving agencies will compete against each other in a charity basketball tournament hosted by the Frederick Police Department. Proceeds will be donated to the Friends of the CAC. If you want more information, you can visit the Child Advocacy Center's website at frederickcountymd.gov/CAC, or you can call their office at 301-600-1762. Most importantly, if you think a child is being abused or maltreated, please report it. You can call the CAC or call Child Protective Services. They take calls 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. April is also the month of the young child. The focus of the month of the young child is that our young children are the future, and we need to help them grow up in a safe, warm, and welcoming community. The mission of the Interagency Early Childhood Committee is to promote the healthy development and well-being of young children and their families through community collaboration. The committee is currently collaborating on 2 projects, the Adverse Childhood Experience and Ready Rosie. Ready Rosie is a free online resource to encourage parent-child engagement. Ready Rosie is available in both English and in Spanish. The culminating, exciting activity of the Month of the Young Child is the 29th annual Frederick Children's Festival held in Baker Park. It is scheduled to be held on Saturday, April 28th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. and focuses on children ages 2 to 8 and their families, but everyone is certainly welcome. The festival is an opportunity for families to participate in a range of activities, community displays, and entertainment. Now, before we introduce all of our guests and I'll have them say a few words, I want to turn the microphone over to Frederick Mayor Michael O'Connor for a proclamation. And I am going to give you a microphone for this.
Thank you, County Executive. I appreciate it. It has certainly been my honor as a member of the Board of Aldermen and now as mayor to work with so many of the organizations that are present in the room on so many things. It's really important as a community that we make statements like this that are clear about our support for these agencies and the fine work that they do in protection of those among our community who are the most vulnerable and most in need of our protection, and that is our children. I have proclamations today for both the Month of the Young Child and for Child Abuse Prevention Month that are signed by me on behalf of myself and the Board of Aldermen in the City of Frederick. And I did want to take a moment to acknowledge that we have Alderman Kelly Russell, Alderman Derek Shackelford, and Alderman Roger Wilson with us here today. But we also have a joint proclamation on behalf of the city and the county, and I will present that now. Whereas all Frederick County citizens share a responsibility to protect our children, during the month of April, we renew our commitment to prevent child abuse and neglect and to work to enable our children to realize their full potential. And whereas childhood is a formative time and abuse can have devastating long-term effects on young lives, in order to provide a safe environment for our young people, parents must work to protect their children from the dangers that threaten them. Family members, educators, public officials, faith-based and community organizations all play important roles in helping to ensure that children are safe and can grow surrounded by love and stability. And whereas we underscore our commitment to building a community where all children can thrive, develop character, and learn to be responsible citizens in an environment of security and love. And whereas as the pinwheel is the national symbol of child abuse prevention, and we see pinwheel gardens set up throughout our community. And whereas by honoring our obligation to support and protect our young people, all of us have an opportunity to make a positive difference in the life of a child and build a brighter future for our community. Now, therefore, as the County Executive of Frederick County and Mayor of the City of Frederick, we hereby proclaim April as Child Abuse Prevention Month and the Month of the Young Child, and do commend this observance to all of our citizens, signed by Jan Gardner, the County Executive, and myself as the Mayor of the City of Frederick, presented on this third day of April 2018. I want to thank all of you for the work that you do in our community. We are enriched because of what you do. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. And with that, we will pass the microphone and let everyone here introduce themselves and say a few words. We'll start with you.
Hello, I'm Patty Morrison, and I am the chair of the 29th Annual Children's Festival in Baker Park. Children's Festival is sponsored by Child Care Choices, a program of the Mental Health Association, the Interagency Early Childhood Committee, a subcommittee of the Local Management Board, and the City of Frederick. You will be seeing flyers like this all over the county. They will be out in schools, they will be in different windows of businesses, and you will also see this exact flyer on the cover of Frederick Child magazine. Okay. So we would invite everyone to come out and bring their children, grandchildren, nieces, nephews, friends, whoever from the ages of 2 to 8 or are young at heart, to enjoy a beautiful sunny day, because that's what I'm counting on.
I'm Stephanie Portillo with Child Care Choices.
Hi, I'm Leslie Barnes-Keating with the Office for Children and Families. We're the home of the Local Management Board, and our department provides funding to organizations in Frederick that provide services for children from birth all the way up into young adulthood.
Hi, Shelley Toms, Director of Family Partnership. We provide two-generation services to families with children under the age of 4.
My name is Monica Grant. I'm the director of the Citizen Services Division of Frederick County Government, and I get so excited when I see so many fabulous community partners come together. It really reminds me of the very, very best of Frederick.
I'm Lynn Davis. I'm the director of the Child Advocacy Center, and I want to thank everybody here for supporting children every day of the year, but especially now. Over 10% of our children are exposed to physical and sexual abuse and severe neglect, and C.E. Gardner talked about the dangers of that. And so we don't want children to have to bear that burden. As adults, we take that on. It's up to us to keep our children safe and make it possible for them to enjoy pinwheels and all the things we talk about, safe and healthy childhoods, so that they can be free to be children. So thank you for being here.
Sean McKinney, I'm a detective with the Frederick Police. Part of my job is to investigate crimes against children.
I'm Megan Tarquinio, the family advocate at the Child Advocacy Center.
I'm Alderman Kelly Russell. I've previously been the liaison to the CAC, which is a wonderful organization. I was also a police officer, so I've seen that side of it. And the people up here that do this work and the people in the community that aren't here that do this work are real heroes. It's difficult to see children suffering, and it takes a toll on you as well. And so I just want to, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for the work that you do and understanding that it's for our future, and it's very much appreciated. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Lieutenant Joe Hare from the Frederick Police Department.
Good morning, Ed Hargis. I'm the Chief of Police, Frederick City Police Department. I just want to say that the Child Advocacy Center is a great partner with the police department during our investigations of child abuse that occurs in the city. It's again a great partnership that we have a long-standing relationship, and I just want to encourage everybody to come out to our charity basketball game on April 14th. It's a Saturday, noontime, Frederick High School.
Good morning. I'm David DeWeese. I'm an investigator with Frederick Police. I investigate child abuse.
Derek Shockford, City of Frederick Board of Aldermen. I am the city liaison to the Friends of the Child Advocacy Center. Thank you, everyone, for your advocacy work and for all the hard work that you do for the future of our young people. It's very important and vitally critical to our neighborhood. Thank you.
Danielle Dahl, I'm the Associate Director at Downtown Frederick Partnership. So we're very fortunate to have the Healing Center, or the Healing Garden in downtown, and we love having it at the park. But on behalf of all of the businesses in downtown, thank you for all of the work that you do, and we are happy to continue to promote the month of April and your efforts. So thank you.
Hi, I'm Christy Berkey. I work for Child Care Choices, a program of the Mental Health Association.
I'm Michelle Stottlemyre. I also work for Child Care Choices at the Mental Health Association.
Good morning. I'm Kathy Nussbaum. I'm coordinator for early childhood education in the Judy Center for Frederick County Public Schools. I'm also co-chair of the Interagency Early Childhood Committee, and I would like to just put another little plug in for Ready Rosie. It is a free program, a free service for any family that lives in Frederick County with children from birth through 5. You get about a 2-minute video once a week. Go to ReadyRosie.com.
Hello, I'm Alderman Roger Wilson, and just looking out, thank you all for your partnership and your support for children in Frederick County. And it's true that it does take a village to raise a child and protect our children. So thank you. Thank you for being here.
My name's Pilar Olivo. I'm ACE's liaison for the Child Advocacy Center. I'm working on special projects that prevent and mitigate that toxic stress for children and their families.
I'm Emily Gephardt with Child Protective Services.
I'm Kelly Lawson with Child Protective Services.
I am Shannon Pulsifer with Child Protective Services.
Good morning. Kristen Dunn, Child Forensic Interviewer with Department of Social Services stationed at the Child Advocacy Center.
Hi, I'm Carly Pico with Child Protective Services. I would also like to mention another event that we do in Frederick County. I think we're on our 5th annual Crib Crawl 5K. This is actually a few months away still. We just announced the date for this year, which will be October 13th in Baker Park. And the proceeds from that event go towards families and children in need in Frederick County and provide pack and plays for safe sleeping and medication lock boxes to prevent accidental overdoses and other injuries.
Hi, I'm Jessica Beal. I'm with Child Protective Services.
Hi, I'm Leah Johnson, and I am one of the founders of the Friends of the Child Advocacy Center and also the past president.
Good morning. My name is Roy Libden, representing the Asian American Center of Frederick, and we provide services to the immigrant and our minority communities here in Frederick. And thank you again for the support and the help that you provide for our kids here in Frederick.
Brenda Lohman, I'm with Child Protective Services.
Jenny V, therapist at the Child Advocacy Center.
Good morning. I'm Chris Giddings, and I'm a member of the Friends of the Child Advocacy Center.
Hi, my name is Tressa Bell. I'm a forensic nurse examiner at Frederick Memorial Hospital.
Katie Swanham with the Frederick Police Department's Victim Services Unit.
Good morning. I'm Pam Holtzinger. I am a forensic nurse examiner. I work as part of the medical team at the Child Advocacy Center, as well as working with Tressa at Frederick Memorial Hospital to care for children there.
Hi, I'm Pat Bradshaw, and I'm one of the members of the Friends of the Child Advocacy Center.
Hi, I'm Cindy Miller. I am the current president of Friends of the Child Advocacy Center. We are an all-volunteer nonprofit, which means 100% of the donations we collect go to our programs that advocate for child prevention, for raising awareness, and for whatever the CAC needs us to do. I do want to mention that we have a couple of things going on this month that haven't been previously mentioned. We will be in the Healing Garden at Benita Moss Park from 3 to 6 on Saturday, first Saturday. We do invite you, as County Executive Jan Gardner mentioned, the April 14th basketball game. We have raffles going on there. We have gift cards to several restaurants, so you can come and take advantage of that. It's going to be at Frederick High School. The last thing I'd like to mention is Blue Worship Weekend. It's the last weekend in April. We are asking churches to participate. They can go to our website, which is cacfriends.net, and find all sorts of information and activities in both English and Spanish that they can use in their churches. We are not asking for donations. We are only asking for prayers for the children and their non-offending family members, as well as for all of the professionals who work the cases.
Good morning. My name is Carla Paylor. I am the pediatrician at the Frederick County Child Advocacy Center.
I'm Shelley Sexton, and I'm the program manager for Child Protective Services.
Hi, I'm Sharon D'Alessandro, and I'm a Child Protective Services social worker.
Okay. Thank you, everyone, for being here today, but more importantly, thank you for what you do each and every day to ensure the well-being of children in our community. It is a difficult job. I would have a big emotional challenge to deal with children who had been mistreated in any way. And so I appreciate those of you who can work together to make sure that our children are safe and have a bright and positive future in our community. So as you can see, Frederick County is a special place. And I always say it's a special place because of the people who call it home, the people who live here. There's a large group of people up here who are dedicating their time, their talent, their expertise, some as professionals and some as volunteers, to really make sure that all the children in our community can have a bright future in Frederick County. So our goal is certainly for a healthier, happier, and safer lives for all children. All children should be enjoying, their pinwheels and their childhood and having a carefree time. So I want to thank you for joining us for today's Frederick at its Best, and I would really encourage you to participate in the events that we've shared today to support the Child Advocacy Center and support the Month of the Young Child. It is up to all of us to make sure our next generation are happy, healthy, and safe in our community. Thank you for joining us.